Warm greetings to everyone in the Virgin Islands and in the wider Caribbean. I'm Angela Burnett, Environmental Officer with a focus on climate change at our Ministry of Natural Resources and Labor. And today it was our great honor to join with the OECS in celebrating our first annual Climate Change Day. We had great fun here in the Virgin Islands, hitting the streets and conducting first-hand interviews with persons in different sectors, getting their perspective on what climate change means to them. So come along and I will share with you some of the interesting conversations from today. I am here at the temporary campus of Elmer Stout High School, and I am here with
Sandia, Angeles,
and alright, and these great guys are going to tell me in their words what climate change means to them.
Climate change means that the entire planet is getting warmer, so it means more rainfall, stronger hurricanes, and more flooding.
Excellent, and that's of course means that we have to be prepared to face those impacts. Right, and what does it mean to you?
Climate change means that the beaches are going to be eroded and the coral reefs will become bleached.
Right, and you love those. You were telling me how much you love those.
Yeah.
So we have to do something to save our beaches and our reefs. All right, and over here?
Climate change means that we need to stop the emission of greenhouse gases.
So what are you going to do? What's your part? What's your role?
I'm not going to drive.
You're not going to drive. All right, so we have a champion for public transportation, walking, biking.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, all right. So these guys are the champions. These are going to be our climate change champions. Wait for the camera, guys. We are now here. I'm in the passenger seat of Mr. Arnold Smith's taxi, and he's one of our taxi operators that focuses on the yachting sector as well as the hotel resort subsector. And he's gonna share his perspective on how climate change is affecting taxi operators like himself.
I have been through hurricanes before, we've been through weather, but over the last years, weather has become unpredictable. There's no set pattern for any event now when it comes to weather. Before, it was more predictable, but I think climate change has changed that. And the way climate change has affected my business, where I work in the tourism sector, is that we basically have had a big drop in business as our product basically has been severely damaged by the passenger hurricane Irma. The hotels and resorts where I am, we deal with a lot of guests. They are down and rebuilding. And then on the cruise sector side, there are no ships coming, as they have not been confident enough to come back to the territory. So right now, we are operating on one third of our tourism sector right now is up and functional. That's the marine, the yachting sector. And it's been an adjustment. And as I say, weather is very unpredictable now. There's no set pattern. So I think that climate change is really, really real, and it needs to be looked after and analyzed more closely by leaders all over the world.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Mr. Smith, for your great insights, and we definitely look forward to that kind of action that you talked about. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
I am here with the dynamic Janet Oliver of the Charter Yacht Society of the BVI, and they definitely get climate change. They are very participatory in any event or any activity that we have for planning, thinking about resilience building, and they've also been doing a whole lot to reduce the carbon footprint of the charter yacht sector. So Janet, tell us some of the exciting things that you guys have been doing.
Well, I think over the years we've really recognized the importance of mitigating our own carbon footprint in the yachting sector, simply because it's such a huge component of the tourism product. And so we started very simply with the reduction of plastic on the boats, trying to get the guests to transition to a reusable bottle versus a disposable bottle, which they only drink half of the water and then leave it sitting on the deck.
Right.
And so we have almost virtually done away with disposable bottles on the boats.
Oh, that's
water
great.
makers are on board, and if not water makers, simply just a large container of water whereby everybody is just able to refill their water bottles.
And just so that people get the connection, a lot of fossil fuel actually goes into making plastics. So very important initiative. And I know you're doing some other things as well. So tell me about those.
Right, so many owners have implemented or have installed solar panels, wind generators, all of those things that reduce the hours of running engines and, and charging up the systems.
Right.
Something that has started to take place, people have been much more cognizant of the cleaning solutions they use.
Oh, great, yes.
Much more aware of the sunscreen that they are providing for their guests. So everything that they do is really with a much more of an awareness of the natural resources.
Right.
And whatever we can do to, as I said, lessen our footprint.
Perfect. And reducing the impact on the marine environment is so important. It will help reefs be more resilient to coral bleaching and so forth. That will happen more frequently with climate change. So Janet, thank you so much for the work that you do and helping to make BVI a leader in having a green yachting sector. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Right, so here we are with Miss Simone Monsanto, Director of Caribbean Insurance Limited, which is always very active in the community. And she's going to tell us from an insurance perspective what climate change means to her.
The risk will increase by rising sea level, stronger hurricanes like Irma and Maria, and floods. It will cause a financial impact on the industry for both clients, reinsurer, and insurer. Caribbean Insurers Limited recognizes that it has a role to partner with government and other bodies in the BVI to rebuild stronger and better and resilient. And we also hoping that soon we can plant some mangrove to help with the rise in sea level.
Right, and coastal defense.
And coastal
Perfect.
defense.
I'm definitely looking forward to partnering with you and to have you continue on this journey as we build resilience.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon again, everyone. I am here with Mr. Coy Smith of Profi's Farm. He is a farmer and also the managing director of this operation. And we're actually here at their new location post Hurricane Irma. So Coy has a very real life perspective on what climate change means to him as a farmer. I'm going to have him share that with you now.
Climate change is very real. It allows us to sit down and rethink as to how we go forward and so that we can maximize on our production. And what you will see, we incorporate a lot of stuff instead of in the past where we used to dump stuff. We kind of use those stuff more on the farm so that we can get the best out of it. For instance, we never used to do mulching, but we start to mulch so that they can keep water conservation in the soil because it's a little more hot now in the plants and not doing very well, and we incorporate other sort of irrigation system that will help to minimize the amount of water used throughout the day.
Right.
We do chicken and eggs and lamb, or what we do is we, instead of dumping the manure, we would actually incorporate it in the plant as well. So we can cut back on some of the synthetic, perhaps don't use synthetic fertilizer that would perhaps be a little more harsh, which will call for more water. So a more bio-friendly substitute.
Right.
So that's pretty much so far.
So you definitely recognize the changes that we're seeing in the climate, in particular drought, water shortages, and Profi's Farm is responding.
Yes, we are. And,
Excellent.
We have relocated here in Greenland instead of Parakeeta Bay. And what we have realized is that there's a bit of our water under the ground. So we have dug pretty much about 6 feet, and we discovered that there is a spring. And we have a small mini dam that is just on the land, and that helps for emergency purpose. If water shortage for perhaps more than a week, we can just use a pump and then pump the water to the garden.
Great, so you're doing a lot to be sort of resilient to all sorts of impacts from, water shortages, and that's very important. Key.
Yes, because you want to ensure that you're productive in using your time or maximizing on your time. So you have to find every means and way to save on what you have invested in. And these are ideas that we tend to
Right.
incorporate.
Excellent. So, Coy, I wish you all the best recovering from impacts from Hurricane Irma and the flood before, and to continue to be a leader in the farming community.
Well, thanks a lot, and God bless everybody.
Thank you. We are with Cortez Forbes. He is the managing director of Rufred Forbes and Associates, a leading construction company in the Virgin Islands for many years now. And he's going to tell us what climate change means to him as somebody in the construction industry.
Building sustainable, stronger, greener, and to reduce our carbon footprint.
Wonderful. Thank you for being a leader and making that happen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am here with the lovely Sahodra Joseph, and she is involved in all aspects of operations here at the Moorings Mariner Inn and Charlie's Restaurant, which is a mainstay in our tourism sector. Unfortunately, they were also quite impacted from the recent passage of Category 5 Hurricane Irma. So Ms. Joseph is going to tell us a bit of that experience and her appreciation from the industry of what climate change means in the context of that experience.
Okay, as you can see, we've had some damages done to the property. Fortunately, we were able to bounce back and are back on our feet for most of it. Now, this has affected our capacity for customers, but we do have our loyal customers, which keeps coming. Thank you so much for that. The support means a lot to us. Now, in terms of how we should better prepare and how we should get our structures to withstand anything that is to come even stronger than Hurricane Irma is what we're working on. We're trying to get grounded, more structured, more protocols in place to get more prepared, not only for our clients, our customers, but also for the staff. We're trying to adapt to the climate change, and we are trying to be much better prepared. It's all positivity from here.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Ms. Joseph. You have been lovely, and we look forward to seeing the Mariner Inn make a full recovery and be part of resilience building in the tourism sector.
You are most welcome. We look forward to seeing you all here. Please come on down, give your support, and we are happy to see you. Thank you so much.